Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sadek and today we're diving into Lightroom Classic. This video will give you a full overview from importing and organizing your photos to doing basic edits and finally exporting them. By the end, you'll have all the tools you need to jump right in and get editing. So let's get started. Alright, let's launch Lightroom Classic. After seeing a beautiful splash, you're in. At the first look, it may seem overwhelming, but hang in there. I'm going to explain each part so you will understand what is going on in here. Like any other software, we have a menu bar up top. And then just below that, there is the software window, which I'm going to maximize by clicking on this green button. Now you don't see the menu bar anymore, but if you need it, you just move your mouse cursor to the top edge and it will show up. We have the module bar in here. Lightroom Classic divided its workspace into different modules, so depending on the task you are doing, you get to choose the module. The library module is used for importing and organizing your photos. The develop module is where we do most of our photo editing and so on. As you can see, the library module is highlighted, indicating that we are in the library module now. We have some panels in the left and some panels in the right side of the workspace. And then at the bottom, we have a film strip which shows all the photos inside a selected folder. Notice that there are 4 small triangles around the workspace. If we need more space, we can hide these side panels by clicking on this little triangle. It will hide the side panel, and if you need it, you just move your cursor to the edge of the screen and it will come back. If you want it to be fixated there, you just click on the triangle once again and the side panel will stay there. You can do the same to the module bar and the film strip at the bottom. Now let's see what we have in the library module. On the left side up top, we have the navigator, which is used to move to different parts of an image and see the details in that area. You can also click on the image in the middle of the workspace called the preview area, and it will zoom in and out. If you want to zoom in on a specific area, just hold down Command key in Mac or Control key in PC and drag a rectangle around that area. You can click and drag to move around or just click once to zoom out. In the folders panel, you can see all the folders that have been already imported into Lightroom. You can see the structure, the year as a parent folder, and inside each year, we have a folder for each day. The naming convention is year followed by month and day, and it's in a way that keeps everything sorted and organized. These are the actual folders on my hard drive that Lightroom made for me each time I imported photos from my camera. I will show you how to do that in a moment. This number over here tells you how many photos are in that folder, and when you click on each folder, the photos inside that folder will be shown in the film strip area down here. In order to import photos, you just need to connect your camera or simply insert your memory card into a card reader that is connected to your system. Then click on the import button to open the import window. On the left side, you need to choose your SD card. In the middle of the page, you can select the photos you want to import. I simply click on Check All to select all photos. In this area on top, you can tell Lightroom what you want to do with these images. You have 4 options. If you select Copy as DNG, the photos will be copied to your hard drive and they will be converted to DNG format, which is a RAW format. If you select Copy, they will be copied to your hard drive, but the format will remain unchanged. For example, in this case, they will be copied as NEF. The Move button will basically copy them to your hard drive and remove them from the SD card. The Add button will just add the files to Lightroom without copying them to your hard drive. So you are basically reading the images from the SD card, which in this case I don't recommend. For now, let's select copy as DNG. On the right side, you can choose to change the file names, apply settings while importing, and also choose their destination. I don't want to change file names or apply any settings, so all I need to do is to select the destination folder, which in my case is the picture folder. In the Organize drop-down menu, choose by date and set the date format to year/year, month, and day. This is a perfect organizing structure for photos, as it enables you to find your photos easily based on the shooting date. You can see here how many photos are getting imported and how many folders are going to be created. Then simply click Import. Now you can see a progress bar on the top left side of Lightroom. Once the copying process is done, the photos will be converted to DNG, and you can select the folder from the folder panel, and all the photos will be shown in the film strip area down here and also in the preview area in the middle. You can choose how you want to see your images in the preview area by selecting one of these options down here. We are in grid view now, and we can see our images like a grid. We can also change the thumbnail size using this slider here. We can go to loop view by clicking on this button or simply pressing E key on the keyboard. In loop view, we see just one image in the preview area, and we can use film strip area to select which image we want to see in the middle. Then we have compare view. The shortcut is the C key on the keyboard. This is useful when you want to compare two images and choose one. Like when you have two images of the same scene and want to see which one is sharper to keep. You have a select image on the left, which can be set by clicking on any image in the film strip area. Then for the candidate image, you need to click on that area. You see that a narrow white band will appear around that candidate area, and then you can select the candidate photo from the film strip area. Or you can do it another way, which is my favorite, is to choose the select photo by clicking and then use left and right arrows on the keyboard to select the candidate photo. Notice that the select photo in the film strip can be recognized by a small white dot that appears on the top right of the image, while candidate photo has a black dot there. You can zoom in on the images using this slider, and if they are not perfectly aligned, you can click on this lock icon to unlink the focus and move the photos separately. In this case, I can see that the right image is out of focus, and I can flag it as rejected using the small reject icon down here. Then we have survey view, which is useful when you want to see multiple images at once. You can simply hold down the command key in Mac, control key in PC, and select as many photos as you want to see. You can move them around, flag them as picked or rejected, or remove them from the preview area by clicking on the X over here. Later, you can filter your images in the film strip based on their flags. If you want to see all the picked photos, you can easily click on this filter, pick icon, and see all picked photos. Or you can deselect it to see all photos in the folder. Another thing that I like to do in library module is to rotate my photos if they need to. I can do it using these two left and right rotation icons here, or using the shortcut command left bracket and command right bracket. On PC it will be control left bracket and control right bracket. You can also select all the photos in the same direction and do the rotation at once. You can see the histogram of a selected photo on the top left here, as well as its ISO, focal length, aperture, and shutter speed that is used to capture that photo. In Quick Develop panel, you can easily apply presets and do some basic editing like changing white balance, exposure, clarity, and vibrance. But we have all these settings in more detail in Develop module too, so we're not going into them for now. Just note that if you change any parameter, a small plus minus a square will be shown on the bottom right side of the image, meaning that image has been edited. If you want it back to its original state, you can simply click on the Reset All button or right-click on the image and go to Develop Settings and choose Reset. It will go back to its original state. The nice thing about Lightroom is that it will always keep the original files unchanged, meaning the edits that you make in Lightroom, like cropping, adding contrast, etc., will be saved in a separate file called a catalog file. You don't even need to save anything. It will be done automatically in the background. So you basically do your edits, and when you're done, you can close the program. And later, when you came back, you can continue from where you left off. It's called non-destructive editing, and it's amazing. Okay, now let's get back to the interface. Below Quick Develop panel, we have Keywording panel to add keywords to the images if you want. And we also have Metadata panel, which give you access to all metadata of the photos. Now, let's flag some pictures as pic and edit them in Develop module. You can use P key on the keyboard to flag a photo as pic. If you made any mistake, you can use the U key on the keyboard to remove the flag. Now, let's go to Develop module. And in the film strip area, from the filter section, choose picked icon. Now you will only see the picked photos, and all the remaining photos will be filtered out. Let's select the first image and let's look at the histogram over here. It has two small triangles on left and right that enable you to see if any area in shadows or highlights has been clipped and you lost any detail in those areas. You can click on these triangles to turn them on or just press J on the keyboard. The highlight clipping areas will be shown on the photos in red color, and shadow clipping areas can be seen in blue. In most cases, especially when you have a raw photo, you are able to recover some of the details in the clipped area using the highlight and shadow sliders. To set the white balance, you can do it manually by moving the color temperature slider to left and right to make the image cooler or warmer. You can also use the tint slider to give the image a tint of green or magenta. If you have a white or neutral gray area in the photo, you can easily choose this color picker and click on that area. By doing that, you're basically telling Lightroom that this area is supposed to be pure white or a neutral gray, and Lightroom will automatically adjust color temperature and the tint slider for the whole image. Then there is exposure slider, which simply makes your image brighter or darker. If the image is dull, you can use the contrast slider to add a little punch to your image. Adding contrast also increases the saturation of colors in the image, so be careful with that. Sometimes it's even a good idea to lower the saturation when you added some contrast to your image. Here is a useful tip when working with these sliders. If you feel that you've gone too far and want the slider to reset and get back to its original value, you just need to double-click on the slider. It will reset to its original value. Another shortcut that is super helpful is the backslash key on the keyboard. When you're editing photos, you want to see the before and after all the time. Pressing backslash will show you the before, and pressing it once again shows the after, giving you a nice way to see the progress you have made with the edit. I will not go deep into the advanced tools that are available in Develop module for this video, as I just want to show you the workflow here, so I will leave them for future videos. One thing that I like to do though is to go to lens correction panel and enable these two settings. Sometimes in high contrast areas you can see a narrow band of different colors like red and green around the edges. This phenomena is called chromatic aberration or color fringing, and it's an optical issue that occurs when a lens fails to focus all colors of light onto the same point. By selecting Remove Chromatic Aberration, this issue will be easily solved. You can also enable profile corrections, and that will remove any distortion or vignetting around the edges. After editing is done, you can easily select the photos you want to export by holding down the Command key in Mac, Control key in PC, and selecting as many photos as you want. Then right-click on one of them, and from the menu select Export, and then click on Export to open the export dialog. The way I like to do it is to choose Export to same folder as original photo and put it in a subfolder by enabling this option, and then write a folder name for that. In File Settings, you get to select the format and quality. I also put the resolution on 240 pixels per inch, and we're good to go. Simply click on the export and you will see a progress bar on top left side of Lightroom showing that the photos are now being exported. After it's done, you can go to your pictures folder or wherever you choose the photos to be exported, and there you have it. Alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you now feel more comfortable navigating Lightroom Classic, from importing and organizing your photos to making edits and exporting your work. Remember, mastering Lightroom takes practice, so don't be afraid to experiment with the tools and features we covered today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more tips and tutorials on photography. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.